What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Thrifty here with Nelson Gaming 12 doing the first playground of the new year. Wasn't going to have a show tonight. Nelson reached out and was like, hey man, you doing a show on the first? And I was like, I wasn't gonna, but he was like, hey, I'm off. And I always yell at Nelson in the chat because I know he listens while he's at work. And I always tell him, hey man, listen, if you're off, let me know. I'll make an opening. We'll get you on. I want you here. I like having him here. And so we were able to make this work. Yeah, Michael, yes. Topics have been updated just a smidge because of the things that happened while I was away from my house. Like I've been away, and so I haven't been here to update anything, and so I literally just updated the thumbnail now. And so yeah, we got some stuff to talk about tonight. We got some pretty fun things to talk about tonight. And let me show y'all some of the stuff that we have to talk about tonight. It's going to be great, and I am excited. And let me hang on. That woman singing is really loud. So let me see if I can't shut her up just a tad. So, tonight is basically going to be a prediction night for the upcoming year, see kind of what we're looking at, what we're dealing with, and kind of what my thoughts are. Going to get Nelson's thoughts on where we see kind of Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, some of our Japanese studios, where we see people going. We did have some news break about 3 hours ago, maybe 4, I believe. That was Black Myth Wukong has been delayed indefinitely. It is bad. And it's bad because the damn thing is powerful, but it can't do shit with it. And so we're going to discuss that a little bit. Got an article for that, of course. I also have another article for something that caught my eye. It was a 2025 preview by VGC for Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra from Amy Hennig, and I am super interested in that game. She is most famously known for her work on Uncharted, and so really excited about that. Gonna dive into that a little bit. And also, Kojima gave an update on Physint, which for me, that's the game that interests me a little bit more than Death Stranding 2, just because I've never been a Death Stranding guy. That's just not my thing. And so, yeah, got a few topics tonight, got a lot of stuff to get to with regards to kind of where we think gaming's going to go over the next year, kind of what we're looking for, get Nelson's thoughts maybe on what he thought of 2024. And yeah, so we have a great night planned. Thank y'all all for being here already. And if you could share this thing out for me, send it on down the road into the social spaces where all of y'all creep out and hang out. Hero Down Under, Outsider Gaming Night, Toolman55, Michael Meridian, Josh Ayers, Slimy Mucus, and Warawana. Welcome. Yeah, I didn't even know Jez was going to go live today. That was crazy. He had a really good show for the members yesterday. That was a nice thing. Oh, one of the things I do plan on doing tonight is when we kind of get a little bit more into it, going to kind of talk to y'all about some things that we're going to be doing with the channel, some things that I'm excited about, and just kind of like I did last year, some things that I want to improve and get better at. And I feel like this channel has grown with the community, and so I always like to let y'all know of kind of where the next steps and phases are, kind of what the next thing that we're looking to do is. And a lot of this year is just going to be a little bit more on my end with consistency. Really want to be more consistent with the videos I put out and with the live streams, making sure I always have a different guest for y'all every week. That way, keep it fresh, keep it exciting, while still remembering, we like our recurring guest. We absolutely want to have Will on still every third Wednesday of the month. Or, yes, every third Wednesday of the month. We want to be able to make sure that if we have a fifth Wednesday, he's more than welcome to be on that show as well. He was a big part of the show in 2024. And so, yeah, definitely want to keep pushing his stuff. Him and Nelson actually do a show every Saturday night. Sunday night. And it's called the State of Gaming podcast. Go check that out. I was gone today a lot, guys. I didn't have time to do my normal, put all the links in and do all that stuff. Like I said, y'all saw the generic-ass thumbnail that I had originally had for this thing. So I will get all of that taken care of. But yeah, enough talking from me right now. I can do that a little later. Nelson, how are you, dude? Oh, shoot. Hang on. Whoopsie. Y'all can't hear him. And I know why. Give me a sec. I need to fix that. Hey, Nelson, can you... Nope.
Check.
Hey, there we go. There we go. I got you. You're here now. That was my bad. I've
been pretty miserable last week, to be honest with you. I'm so ready for my kids to go back to school tomorrow.
You said you slept almost 40 hours?
Yeah. I fucked up my back on Tuesday at work, so...
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, so
That's...
Not that I didn't want to get out of bed, I couldn't.
Oh, and you might need to ask somebody how to do this, but you said you wanted to do it through the PlayStation. I'm
on the PlayStation.
Oh, okay, cool. I still don't know how to do Discord through the PlayStation because, well, I'm a boomer trapped in a Zennial's body. And so...
You just do the QR code from when you hook it up.
And that's it. And then it just lets you be on Discord while you're gaming.
All your Discords, yep.
Okay, because I have it linked. I just don't ever know how to, use it while I'm on the PlayStation. I'm linked in.
You can go to all the Discord things and go into them and go into whatever chat you want, into any Discord you want.
Really?
Yep. I
need to figure out how to get to the Discord app then, because I don't know how to do that on the PlayStation. Because I'm a boomer. That fact that me and technology do not get along, it has been made evidently clear.
I'm not looking for more things to do. I have too much shit I can't get done now.
That was one of my kind of things that took me back about Path of Exile 2. When you're in there looking at all of your freaking resolution settings, you have shaders and upscaling and all this other shit and bitmap, bitmetric or NS whatever. There were so many different options. And I was I selected the one that said PS5 Pro, and I selected the one that said Ultra, and that's it, and I moved on. But God bless, so many freaking options. I did not do well with those. But yeah, speaking of that, last year, dude, it felt like we had options everywhere to play games. We had tons of games that had come out. We had games that came out from studios we had never heard of. We had games come out from well-known publishers that have been in the game since the regular Nintendo. And it felt like last year came in with a bit of uncertainty in January. And then they did their show, everything was fine. And I'm talking about Sony right now. They did their show, everything was fine, and the year turned out to be pretty freaking solid. We had a couple meme issues going on with the Concord, and what was the other one that came out and failed this year? Fell flat on its face. What the hell was it? Shit, can't remember now. But
Lego?
No, it wasn't a Sony game. It was Anyways, it will come to me. But we had two massive flops this year. Two massive Veilguard. There we go. Yeah. Veilguard, and that's when people were talking about how 70,000 concurrent players on Steam is an amazing number, and all this other stuff. And
it depends on what type of the game it is.
And then they were pulling out stats that it did better than the other two on Steam. Yeah, the other two were on Steam 5 years after they released. You can't. I mean, I hope a brand new release. Suicide Squad. That's it. That's it. Not
That was
Veilguard.
terrible.
That was the one. I was like, man, I just saw a video about that today. So terrible. But then, dude, we had games like Stellar Blade, which were absolutely fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Heck, we got Shift Up going around to every single freaking PlayStation studio like it's the new hire that's about to get onboarded and finally sign their onboarding paperwork. Like, it feels like that studio is going to do more stuff with PlayStation. They've been parading everywhere. It seems like every week we're getting Stellar Blade. Look at Eve here. Look at Eve there. Look at this studio. Look, we visited Naughty Dog. We visited Insomniac. We visited, like, they are all over the place. And so hopefully we get a lot more from that studio. But we also had games like Metaphor that totally different setting, totally different storytelling, a lot of the same mechanics, or so I'm told, as the Persona series. And that game came out of nowhere at the end of the year and absolutely lit gaming up in that genre. And so it was just an awesome, awesome year. Nelson, I've mentioned some of my highlights. What were some of your highlights and lowlights from the year in gaming?
Definitely Helldivers 2. I love that game.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love Helldivers 2. I mean, the first half of the year was like, wow, I'm not gonna finish all these games. Not.
Just not.
Like, I guess Rise of the Ronin, I'm not gonna finish you till like 2025. Sorry. Because there were so many games, Grand Blue Fantasy, and then there was Helldivers 2, and then there was Final Fantasy, and then there was Stellar Blade, and then there was Rise of the Ronin. I was like, hold on, these are a lot of games. Hold up a little bit. So, yeah, there's a lot to play.
Yeah, Josh actually said that he started Rise of the Ronin last month, and he said it's great.
It's a good game. I gotta finish that too. But right now I'm playing Banishers and Wukong. I need a break from Wukong because I got my ass kicked like 12 times by a big yellow dude, Buddha dude or something. I don't know. Kicked my ass.
Bro,
he made me cry.
I'll be honest, games that kick my ass the controller gets put down for a couple days. Like, I didn't play Path of Exile 2 for like 2 days because there was this freaking boss that kept poisoning me, and the mechanics are not like, how do I say this? Some of the bosses have no obvious like tell that, hey, this is what you're about to get done to you. And so, like, this boss would have poison come up out of the ground, and what I found out through Googling, which made the fight, once I figured out the mechanic, I beat it the next try. But, like, you have to run around the outside of the kind of little battle arena, and when you do that, they will become visible, and you attack them and just move on, and when they become visible, the poison dissipates. But, like, I was on that. I think I died like 6 or 7 times, and I finally just was getting pissed off, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. Done for a couple days. And then I Googled it. And I didn't want to, but I had to. Because I hate games that piss me off. It's not fun. I don't have that problem. You need to get better. Thanks, Steven. Hey, Steven, welcome. Yeah, I finally beat that. What up, Zero Steel? Man, we got a bunch of blues and greens. I like it. So you mentioned some of your highlights. What were some of your lowlights? What were some of the things that you were like? Did you play Concord?
I played the beta. That was enough for me.
Okay. So you did play the beta.
That
okay.
was more than enough for me. I actually have it on my channel if you want to see. And you know what's funny? This is not going in this before anybody was talking about it or nothing. And me and that guy Ken, a friend of mine, were playing it, and we go, "This isn't a bad game. It's just the fucking characters are horrible." And guess what? People were talking about the very next week.
Yeah.
It's
not a bad game. The characters just suck.
Exactly.
Why would
stand any of these characters? I can't decide who to pick because they're all terrible.
Oh, Slimy Mucus is already on one. Why would anybody play Shitcord? I didn't. I stayed away from that game. It's not my style of game. It wasn't my preferred genre, and it had nothing that hooked me in. Like, here's the deal. One of my predictions, Josh Ayers in the Discord. By the way, permalink in the description below. Join the Discord. We have chats going all the time in there. But Josh had asked if I was going to give any predictions for 2025. And one of the predictions I had is that if Fair Games is going to release in 2025, but it's going to release with a campaign mode. I think that currently, right now, that game, they saw what they did wrong with Concord. They didn't give anybody a reason to care about the world, to care about anything. And guess what? A story does that. Why does Marvel Rivals work so damn well? It's because we've grown up with these characters our entire lives. Like, they have something to pull from. I don't need
Adding a single player to those characters would have helped it, though. Plus, they already spent how many hundreds of millions on it. I don't think that was going to help that game at all. I think it was just a flush no matter what.
Oh, Concord? Yeah. I do.
Another 100 million on player for what? 50,000 copies? 100? I don't know.
But man, if you put a single player campaign in, I think that, or even a multiplayer campaign like they did with shoot, what game was that?
Marines?
Dude, well, they've done it with Space Marines. They did it with the one right before that. Not Remnant? The one before that. Remnant 2. And they did it with Outriders, where you could do a co-op campaign with cross progression and everything, or shared progression rather, and like that was super fun. It was great. It gave you a reason to actually care. It gave you a reason to set up everything. It gave you a reason to go through the campaign and go through the story. You leveled up. You found your playmates. You found your crew, and then like you put 5, 7, 8, 9, 1,000 hours in it. Like that's what I think those games are missing. And so one of my predictions is that Fair Games is going to come out with some sort of story mode. It has to. Like, it has to give you a reason to give a shit. If not, well, it'll be another one down the drain. So that's like my first view into next year. Nelson, what do you have on the docket for next year? What do you think is going to be a bomb that either everybody knows it is, or might be a fringe case where people are kind of on the fence about it? What game do you think is going to come out next year and just fail miserably?
I don't know. Got to wait for the West to show more of their games. That's where they're going to come from.
So what about Shadows?
Oh yeah. Well, I think it's going to underperform. People are going to be like, "Well, it sold 7 million copies or whatever." But yeah, but Assassin's Creed, they wanted to sell 15.
Yeah, that's the bonkers thing. Like, I remember Valhalla sold a shit ton.
20 something.
And they were talking about how in like financial trouble they are, and I'm like, dude, you just had a game sell 20 million. What are y'all doing with your money?
I've been saying it for, believe this or not, I said this on a podcast. I've been looking for this podcast for a while too, just so I can rub it in people's faces. In 2021, I said I would be surprised if Ubisoft was still afloat by 2025, and here we are.
Wasn't that on Otter Players?
From people who were talking about, maybe Sony should buy a publisher, and someone said Ubisoft, and I started looking at publishers with their income and their how many heads they had and stuff like that, and I'm like, that would be the absolute worst decision anyone could possibly ever make in human being life. I'm like, how the hell they have over 20,000 people there,
dude,
and they have 38 studios, or 35 studios, or something like that. That's insane.
Okay,
like,
so
you can't have any failure putting out 7 to 10 games a year with that much.
No, you can't. And that's the problem. I think, and this is one of the things that I know anybody who's listened to the channel knows this, but these bigger companies are not allowed to take risks.
They're like 7 times bigger than the Capcom. 7 times. Think about that for a minute.
Okay, so Michael Meridian and Josh Ayers. Somebody at Ubisoft got to both of them. Michael said, I think AC Shadows will surprise people. And then Josh said, I think AC will nail it. hot take here, but probably Avowed. Brian East, do you mean Avowed's going to be better than people think or worse than people think? Just want to know. I have no skin in the game
That
on
was gonna be
Avowed.
a fart in the wind.
Josh, you have high hopes, but yeah, I was gonna say. He said I love AC. I have all the books, games, and everything. Yeah. Like for the fans, I think that for those fans who are still in that like love for Assassin's Creed, I think you're going to have a great time. For those of us who fell off at Odyssey and have still played probably about 100 hours of
Never
the
again. I'm good after that. A lot of people were everyone went out and bought it because it was released with the next gen and all that stuff like that. And it was like the only big third party game out. Fuck, if you were on Xbox, it was the only game. So,
but like
but
I
it
still
was
will
disappointing.
play it. That's the crazy thing with me and Ubisoft. I have played every Far Cry game since Far Cry 3. I haven't beat all of them. I didn't like 4 that much. I really liked 5, but after I spent like 60 hours in the first siblings section and took care of her, I was like, I'm done. And I was bored. And so I was like, okay, fine. And so I bounced off of that. And then Far Cry 6, I played the like 2 hours of it, I think, maybe an hour. And I was like, okay, this game fucking sucks. And I bounced off of that. And then Valhalla, I spent 50 to 60 hours in, didn't get past the England area, and I was done. Like, games that do not respect my time, I have very, very little, like, I have very, very little love for. But because I love Assassin's Creed, I will end up playing it, but it will be on like I think I got Valhalla for like $15. And I played it and I traded it right back in. Like so it wasn't too terrible. But like man, I don't know. I think Ubisoft is going to I think Ubisoft is going to shit the bed next year and I think they're going to have to sell. That's kind of what I'm expecting to happen.
Look at their recent releases. Avatar didn't sell probably half of what they expected it to. That license cannot be cheap. Outlaws didn't sell a quarter of what they thought it was going to. That license isn't cheap. Prince of Persia, that my kids were liking that. They already lost that on Switch. They had that physical game for 24 hours. They failed that test miserably. How do you lose a physical game in a car in your own place? I'll never understand.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Like they have some of the. It's almost to the same level, and I know some people in the chat are gonna think I'm nuts for this. It's almost
Ubisoft stench.
Right. And it's almost to the same level as people are talking, not necessarily me, but people are talking about Square Enix. Like, lately, their games have all underperformed. No matter how much I absolutely adore Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it underperformed. Like, it should have sold
Skull and Bones.
Right.
$400 million down the shitter too.
Oh, but they'll say that game is a success and it's doing numbers and it's doing everything they wanted it to. I mean, I don't understand what their metric is, and that's the problem. I never understand what Xbox's metric is for their video games, for their sales targets, for anything, because you'll have a game like Hi-Fi Rush that they come out and praise and then kill the studio, and you'll have a game like Sea of Thieves that was, I'm sorry, not Xbox, Ubisoft. You'll have a game like, nope, I just conflated the two. See, this is the problem. When you have so many companies fucking up left and right, you sometimes merge two of them that are doing the same bullshit and getting the same results as each other, and you'll conflate the two a bit. So that's my bad. Ubisoft had Outlaws, and now I think they are going to have Assassin's Creed Shadows. They have IP that everybody would love to see back. That they were going to do a Rayman game, a platformer. That was going to be cool. That got canceled.
Did you see their new NFT games they got out?
Once again, can we make a parallel over to Square Enix? Can you sit with me just for a second while we make a parallel to Square Enix? I think with Square Enix, they tend to overextend their estimates. I think that the folks at Square Enix are freaking perfectionist, and at least on their big budget titles, and because of that, their budgets go through the fucking roof. Because they always seem to want to add that one last thing, or that one thing about like Final Fantasy 16. Those boss battles were fucking sick. They also were very, very detailed and gorgeous. And every single pixel in there cost money. And cost a lot of money. And so they're overinflating budgets, they're doing all that, but that's what AAA studios are doing. That's what they did all throughout 2024. And sadly, it looks like that's what they're going to keep doing into 2025. Now, Sony has been on a kind of a crusade. Hiroki Totoki has said, hey, listen, we need to rein in game spending. It is too much. Budgets are overinflated. They're too high. Can't do that. We got to sniper focus these things. And we're going to see what that looks like and what that can do to a game with Ghost of Yotai coming out in, what is it, March? April? March or April? Spring? So we're all thinking March, April area. So that game is going to be actually really cool. Nelson, you still with me? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, there was no sound. So like we've talked about kind of a game that you think might fail, might bomb. What game do you think is going to kind of be on the other end, just be that hit that maybe people don't think it's going to be a hit?
Outer Worlds 2.
Ooh, that's interesting. Outer Worlds 2. So what about that game has you like, oh no, that's the people don't need to sleep on that.
The first one's really good, and the second one looks immensely better.
So somebody...
It might be the first game ever that has gotten better under Xbox instead of worse. We'll see if they can fuck it up. Maybe they put some shit into that'll really piss off people. They're good at that. I mean, Avowed's already killed itself, so...
So, that's interesting, because somebody in the chat did say Avowed. Honestly...
No, Avowed's dead. That shit's dead. They killed themselves before it even came out.
It's a toss-up for me. So, first Berserker Kazan, I really want to be one of those hits. I think
it was going to do pretty well.
I hope so. But and this is kind of a cop-out because I'm going to do something that I'm either going to get wrong or right here within the next couple weeks. I want to see what Dynasty Warriors Origins does. Because that game looks really cool, and it's going to have a story mode. Where I also like the idea of you playing as one main character in there, and instead of picking a different general, you get to pick one main character, and then you get to choose which weapon, and that dictates your fighting style. And so I'm really excited. They've talked about how they've added a few RPG elements like upgradable weapons, maybe a little bit of crafting. I think I heard that. And so like I'm actually interested to see what that game does. But I think if they clean up some of what looks to be kind of rough edges, just from the trailers of First Berserker, I think that game is going to do way better than anticipated. So,
well, we'll see, I guess.
Maybe. I hope so. I really do. I think that gaming for next year is going to be amazing. Oh, not to mention a little game called Grand Theft Auto 6.
I want to finally play Lost Soul Aside. I didn't think that was actually going to end up happening.
It still might not. Like, don't get excited yet.
Been waiting for that game since I mean, Xbox still had light left in the tank when that game was announced.
Listen, just because they gave us a year, because Josh had to correct me on this, just be, Night Rain, no love. Oh, the Souls multiplayer. Yeah, I mean Night Rain, that's cool. It's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna do numbers. I don't think it's a surprise hit. I think it's gonna do numbers. Y'all still mad? They gave it to Elden Ring over God of War Ragnarok. No, 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 no. No. That game, Elden Ring, sold 22 million copies that year. Yeah, it kind of deserved it. What did Zero say? Zero say, prick's been wasting on NFTs and mobile games, then blames 16 and Rebirth not selling well. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Backlog and polish sound the same. It won't come out. Talk about it when it comes out. Oh yeah, no doubt. Uh, Josh, it was delayed for the backlog, though. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. So let's go ahead. We kind of talked about what we're looking forward to for next year. Got a couple other things on that a little later. But let's go ahead and dive in to the first story of tonight. Once again, Nelson's going in just as blind as y'all are because, once again, I didn't get all this crap out to him. I did, for the first time, I did most of the work on the computer this morning. And I completely, didn't ever get my articles sent to anybody. And so because of that, I was away from my computer for most of the latter half of the day, and I didn't get this sent over. So, first thing, we are going to be talking about Hideo Kojima comments on upcoming PlayStation game Physint. And for those Kojima lovers, this is for y'all. I don't really do Kojima. I don't really do Kojima games, but I know that people do follow this poor guy, and they follow him immensely, and he's considered one of the geniuses. Oh no, OD. Never heard of Kojima? I know, man. He's a new guy on the scene. He hadn't been here that long. Let me get you a picture of him. There we go. All right, so hitting the high points. This is from Game Rant. This is Truman 2. I think I said that right. Physint will mark Hideo Kojima's return to the stealth action genre, aiming to be deeply cinematic and espionage-focused. It's a stealth game. The development of Physint was affected by the 2024-2025 SAG-AFTRA video game strike delaying casting. Kojima started working on Physint after a health scare in 2020, motivated by a fan request for a new Metal Gear project. It was first announced in 2024 at the PlayStation State of Play following the reveal of the new Death Stranding trailer. That announcement, a 2025 release for the latter. Physint was described to be a next-gen action espionage game with development still early in pre-production. According to Kojima, development for Physint would begin in earnest after the release of Death Stranding 2. So, more than likely, this game is I don't know, PS6. We're going to see it on the PS6, maybe the PS6 Pro. Maybe that's when we get it.
I don't even want to talk about this game yet. There's no reason.
It's so fucking old. It's so far away. Not old. It's just so far away.
Why are we even talking about this right now? This shit's still in concept.
It's not in. I don't think it's in. Well, yeah, it's in pre-production still. But they have been able to get back into do casting.
He hasn't even finished OD yet. That's going to come out probably next gen.
Now, OD, that's his. That's the cloud game, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. We don't know what the hell it is.
I think that's the cloud game. I think that's so. OD cloud game. Yeah, it's just, first thing that pops up or that I found was a article from 2023. So yeah, we got less information on OD than we have on Physint now. But no. So the way that article read and the title read, remember, I grabbed these based on title. And so the way the title read was that it was actually going to be coming out, maybe getting a preview next year, maybe getting something like that. That was going to be kind of cool. But yeah, no, guys, it's just now getting close to where they can start actually working on it fully because Death Stranding 2 is coming out next year. Nelson, are you a Death Stranding fan?
No.
No.
I'm gonna finish the game someday. It was too goddamn boring to finish.
Uh, Dude, what you could do is make it like we could start like a workout program with it, where whenever he's walking, you're walking.
I'd lose a lot of weight.
It's like whenever you just play it in your living room in VR, and like you actually have to make the walking motions though. That's like a new feature they're gonna add. Nelson only plays Sony first party. That's not true. That is not. I know what he plays, and that is not true. You would play it less.
Yeah, I would. No, you can't play it less than that. I have savings on it, and I want to put it on the PS5, but I was too stupid to even figure out how to put it on my PS5 version. So I can't even get my savings over. You wonder why I don't have a PC.
No, I it took me so I re-downloaded Tales of Arise, but it downloaded the PS4 version, and I couldn't figure out how the hell to get to the free PS5 upgrade of it again, and so it was rough. It was rough. I finally found it, and then I had to let it download another 45 gigs. But now I'm hoping all of my cloud saves transferred over, and I can still access them because I've screwed that up before. So you made a good point. Physint's not coming out for a while, so let's talk about a game that is. Supposedly, Marvel 1943 is slated to come out in 2025.
I don't believe that.
I don't fucking believe it either.
I don't.
Hang on. I don't believe that crap at all. But release date for Rise of Hydra 2025.
That means 2026. That's what that means.
Well, so let's see. Will Uncharted designer Amy Hennig's Marvel adventure make the most of its setting? Probably. A story trailer shows Steve Rogers, blah, 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 set in the mist as Hitler, okay, putting aside 1943, Rise of Hydra for this game. Okay, all of this will make for tense, intriguing background. Oh, well, dude, maybe it is coming next year. It looks like they got screenshots of, I don't know, in-game maybe? No, that's definitely not in-game. There's no way that's in-game.
All we've seen it is an engine trailer so far, but I don't know. It'll probably be one towards the end of the year, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, fuck that. We ain't doing this with GTA."
Yeah, that's the other thing. Do you think GTA is coming out this next year, or do you think that's going to get pushed also?
I do, because I think they need the money ASAP.
Do you think they'll release it like Xbox kind of had to do Halo, where it was like
Yep.
release one part of it and then release the other part?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah.
They're broke. They're living off of loans right now until that bitch comes out.
But that's crazy too, because once that game comes out, all their woes are over for the next 10 years, 12 years.
You better hope it doesn't fall off quicker than they anticipate, though. That's the only thing.
Like maybe the juggernaut that is GTA 5 is too
it falls off in 5 years instead of 10, so they're like, oh shit, what do we do now? Oh, well, it's going to take us 5 to 7 years to build another game. Oh, we're going to go bankrupt before then.
Dang.
That's kind of the thing, is when you have eggs in one basket, well, that basket better not tip over. You're shit out of luck. It's over for you.
Hey man, that applies to so many areas in life. Like you can't put all your hope and trust in one thing that it's going to work. And then cuz man, if it doesn't, whew, man. All of us have been there.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. Same with Epic. They don't make anything else either. If Fortnite starts there's a new Fortnite type game that starts taking their thunder, they just go under. I mean, because they got all their eggs in the basket.
So
I don't know what you do. You can't just. It's not like a movie where it's like, oh, we're making all these movies. Well, you know what? We've got these other movies that do well. We could just make a movie about this, and in 12 months you can have that movie out and maybe save the day. It doesn't work that way for gaming. You need a lot longer than that.
yeah, I'm super excited about this game. I can't help it. It's Marvel. Like I'm going to be hyped about this game if it comes out next year. It's but it needs to hurry and drop a release date, or it's going to be a game that I just skip next year because my slots are filling up rather fast of the games that I'm purchasing next year already. Like Ghost of Yotai, I'm there day one. I might take off work. Like it's going to be a day one purchase for me. I can't wait for that game. Loved the first one. Think they're going to knock it out of the park with the second. And
I still think they did my boy Jin dirty.
I am hoping. So here's my thoughts on that. Because sure, I can trek with you. By the way, guys, we have been here for
That
40.
story ain't over. That was the very beginning of the. That's where they got to first. Was just Tsushima, which they killed off very quickly in real life. But you don't get to see what happens next.
Yeah. But
that hurt my feelings.
I think they'll hook you up. I think you'll be able to play as Jin in the Legends mode. Because it would be a huge disservice to not release that game with the Legends mode. Call it Legends 2. Like, that's all you have to do. Super simple. I just wrote it for you. Knock it out. And let folks play as Jin. I think that would be an awesome piece of fan service. And I think it would be great.
But I want his goddamn story. I want to. Well, I know they won, but.
I mean, yeah. What finishing story do you want, though? Did you want him to go further in mainland? And
yeah, did he ended up dying? Be a part of it all the way to the end till they got him out of there? I don't know. We'll never know.
We might. They could do something, little member berries throughout, where maybe you find these lore documents that you get to read. Like, I don't know. I don't think that they would just completely disregard everything about Jin Sakai in the second game. I don't. Honestly, what it feels like to me, it feels like they're building or trying to build their own Assassin's Creed style universe. Where it's more of an avenue to tell different stories surrounding the Ghost moniker than it is to continue the story of one Ghost for the whole thing. Does that make sense?
I tried to get my children to bed because they're not listening.
Oh, hey, mine don't do that normally. They did tonight. We went out to a circus tonight. It's
such a weird thing to have them go back to school on a Thursday, and I thought they'd have the whole week off, but
wait, they go back tomorrow?
Yes.
Dude, my kids go back on Tuesday, and
yeah, my kids go back tomorrow.
Oh, that's so that's weird. Like, I don't know. That's just weird to me. Also,
I don't make the rules. I just live here.
That's yeah. But no, we actually went out to a circus tonight.
No, I need them to go back. They've been driving me nuts.
Have they broken anything? That's the question. Oh. Well, damn. See?
Not to mention, Marcus broke his Switch and he lost Prince of Persia 24 hours after getting it.
Wait. He lost the cart.
Yep.
Dang.
In his own spot while driving. Imagine that. He didn't have to go anywhere. Place.
In his.
Still managed it.
Okay.
That's why I don't buy physical. Now you know. That was their test. Test was very short, very brief.
Dude, have either of your kids on the Switch, or have you on the Switch played that Ninja Turtles game? The roguelike?
Yeah, they have it on there.
Okay.
Oh, not the roguelike one, no.
Yeah, I think I'm about to get that one for my son. Quote unquote.
Really good. I just think I think it'd be too difficult for them. Being
yeah.
really light for them. There's no way he's gonna be able to do that.
Well, I don't know, man. My kids play a lot of. Uh, my kids both like to play a lot of games that are very punishing. Uh, One of them plays survival Minecraft, and the other one is pretty damn good at Astrobot. And so, like, starting over at the beginning of a level, getting collectibles, things like that, they both love doing that. They never get bored with it. And just like when we were kids, man, like we used to sit down and play these games that would whoop our ass, and we used to play them for 8 hours straight, not getting past the third level. And we would just keep playing and playing and playing. Those were just rogues. That's all those were. Those were just.
Yeah, but do you know why we kept playing them? Because we didn't have any.
Well, part of it was because that's all we had, but we had the option to turn it off. Like we could.
No, but you weren't gonna get nothing else to play. We didn't have 800 games if you had PlayStation Plus or.
No,
God,
that's
how many
true.
games do I have? 500-600 games plus PlayStation Plus. Oh, you got 1,200 games. Fuck, I'll just play something else. I didn't have that option.
Yeah, that's true.
I had like 7 options. They had, 7,000.
Yeah, and we had, I don't know if you had this, but we had the one friend who had like the Gauntlet Legends, and then the one friend who had, that's where you went to play Madden, or like that's where like you went over to the friend's house who had whatever genre of game you were looking to play. Somebody had GoldenEye, that's where you went to play GoldenEye and Mario Kart. You had the folks over at PlayStation. Those were the people who you really didn't hang out with other people because you had a lot of single player games. But like you would take turns even and play those. But yeah, man, God, what a different time. You are so right though. We didn't have near as much of a selection as they do now, and at their fingertips. Like you said, dude, $18 a month and 800 games, 220 of them cloud streaming. If you have a portal, shit, you don't even have to download them anymore. If you have PS Premium, you just get most of the games in the catalog can be streamed via the cloud. And it saves on there, does all of that for you. And it's really, really, I think honestly that's why it's so hard sometimes to get like my son nailed down on kind of what kind of games he wants, or because he sees all of them and he's like, I have no idea. Like I don't, and you can't really, because he has a Switch and you can't really rent games on a Switch, so to speak. And so there is no, hey, let's try it out, and if you don't like it, we're good. We'll just send it back. It's no, if you don't like it, well, that's $25 that we just lost, or what have you. And so I don't know, man. Gaming is a bit annoying right now with that. And this is just a little rant. I bought a game digitally, and it's not my cup of tea in the slightest. And so because of that, I tried to get a refund. I played 45 minutes of it. And I fought the camera for 15 of those minutes, and it was annoying as shit, so I wanted to get rid of it. And I wanted to send it back to PlayStation Store and say, hey, I don't want this anymore. Well, because I downloaded the game, I cannot get a single solitary red cent that I spent on that game back. And that sucks. It almost made me a firm believer and signed up for GameFly that day. Because GameFly, you can still rent your freaking games.
Yeah, when everyone talks about fucking Game Pass this and Game Pass that, I'm like, there's a much, much better fucking rental service than that. Oh, GameFly. You actually get to pick the game you want.
Right.
Imagine that.
You can... Imagine that.
Instead of getting Peepaw's Farm, I get Pokemon or something. Imagine that.
That's actually true. Like, GameFly, you can actually rent whatever the hell you want for whichever system. It doesn't matter. And so, like, not sponsored by GameFly, but the more I'm thinking about, like, how I would love to get my kid to try all these other video games and stuff, GameFly might be the route that this house takes. Like, because you can get 1 or 2 games at a time, I think, and you can try it. If you don't like it, send it back, and they'll send you the next one on your list. And you just keep going. And that's kind of cool. And if you really like it, you have an option to buy it, which is also really cool. And then they'll send you the case and any kind of paperwork that came with it, which means you generally get it at a used price, and you get all of the bonus content included with the game, which is really cool for getting it used. Because anybody who's bought a game from GameStop that still had the little code booklet in the front, you know that code doesn't work. That code had already been taken. But I'm excited about Rise of Hydra. I think it's going to be a great story, and I am actually excited about what Amy Hennig can do over there. But let's get into the next topic. Guys, we have been here almost an hour. Please hit that like button and share this out. That's the thing that help the most is liking this, sharing it out, and doing that. Also, if you want to become a member, you can do that. You can also join the Discord, and with that, the link to the Discord is in the description. Black Myth Wukong director confirms Xbox delay is because of the Series S. Now, shout out to Jez. I had no idea that this broke. I was away from the internet for most of the day, and I had no idea about this. Then all of a sudden, I see Jez is going live, and I'm like, wait, he didn't say he was going live today when he was on his show yesterday. All right, cool. So
I'm saving that for work tomorrow, to be honest with you.
I am too.
To kick off my day.
Dude, I am too, man. I saw he went live, and I saw it said Black Myth Wukong delayed, and I'm like, wait, what happened? So I did a quick Google search, and hey, this article came up from The Gamer. And so, anyways, Warrawana lies. Sony paid for exclusivity. Yeah, they did, man. They did. They absolutely did. Xbox fans are pretty much used to being left out when it comes to console games, with developers increasingly more likely to stick to PlayStation and sort out Xbox after the fact. I almost shattered her glass. Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Rise of Ronin, and Silent Hill 2 were all third-party titles from 2024 that chose to skip Xbox for one reason or another. But it was Black Myth Wukong's lack of an Xbox version that caused the biggest stink. We know that Black Myth Wukong is coming to Xbox at some point, but the trouble is that the Xbox version of the game is indefinitely delayed. Indefinitely. They've been working on this shit since what was it, Nelson? A couple weeks after release is when Xbox finally got back with them?
It was supposed to come out day and date, so they've been working on it for a long time. I try to tell people this. I've had many developers, not people just guessing about shit, developers, before these systems even came out, and I said, oh, people were like, oh, that GPU problem. Like, I don't know. Every developer who says that goddamn RAM is going to be the real issue. And it's not that they can't do it on there. It's going to be very, very time consuming. That's why games that come out on Switch, they come out, but they come out fucking a year or two later, because that takes them to get a working goddamn version of that game on there. Because they gotta trim, you know what I mean? The field of view, the everything going on in the background. They have to turn the grass into fucking Minecraft grass, shit like that. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. It can be done. But it's a lot of goddamn work.
Well, listen,
you know what I mean?
Hogwarts Legacy made it to the Switch, so I believe in miracles now, okay?
It can, but notice how long it came out. It can be done, but it's a lot of work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Hogwarts Switch versus PS5. Let's see. Like, just look at that thumbnail right there. You got look at how much stuff you give up on the Switch versus the PS5. It's absolutely crazy. They have to cut so much stuff. So, like, Nelson, you're right. Like, they have to go in here and they have to build for the lowest common denominator. And
they have to trim everything back.
And right now,
every scene they have to go through it and be like, oh, we can't do this much field of view because it's taking up way too many resources. The RAM can't handle it, can't load it in fast enough. It'll be choppy as shit, etc., etc. And they have to go through every scene and dial everything back.
Well, and what's crazy is while they're making developers dial stuff back, PlayStation is saying, hey, we're trying to give you 10 to 15% more room to play with every frame. You're welcome. Do more. Have fun. And Xbox is like, hey guys, can y'all stop adding shit? Like, it's not working. You can't make it work. And so let's continue because I want to address Wara's comment because he's stirring the pot.
Wara, he's good at that.
He is good at that little shit. So we know that Black Myth Wukong coming to Xbox indefinitely delayed. With many assuming the weaker Xbox Series S was the cost. Developer Game Science never really confirmed that, though, and there was rampant speculation that Black Myth Wukong has a shady exclusivity deal with PlayStation, further pushed by a dodgy statement from Microsoft itself. Over 4 months since the game's release on PlayStation and PC, it now appears as though we finally have an official answer for Black Myth Wukong's Xbox delay, as director Feng Ji, who also goes by Yokar, has just straight up blamed the Series S in a new post on Chinese social media platform Weibo. And here you go. Yoker's post on Weibo was in response to Black Myth's impressive blah, 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 blah. It's been proven rather controversial, and the game managed to pick up 3 in total, along with Game of the Year, according to the translation by a Reset Era user. Yokar explains that he felt a little emotional after seeing the awards the game nabbed, and that the only thing that would have made it 2024 perfect is the release of the Xbox version. He goes on to say that the 10 gig shared memory that is used by the Xbox Series S made releasing the game on the system impossible without a few years of optimization experience. Holy shitballs. Holy
article. I'm just
shit.
what Dev's saying. You know why? Because they know more about that shit than I do.
Holy shit. Without a few years. Not months, years.
Like The Witcher took to come out on the Switch and Doom, and it took 2 or 3 years, right? Well, they got it out, though.
Oh my gosh. That's fucking crazy.
The problem is, who's taking that amount of time for what got over there? People do that for Switch, but not for you. No.
Well, but like you also got to think about it. Like, let's say 3 years they're optimizing for that. Are the sales even going to be worth it to optimize?
You know the answer to that. No. No.
Because like if the game sold that well, you can greenlight the sequel, move the hell on, or greenlight the DLC.
Yeah, it's not the full team, though. It's usually a handful of guys that just deal with that. But still, that's a long time and a lot of... Like, bro, this is like torture, dude. This is making me want to quit my job.
Can I not work on this piece of shit? Like, that's the dude that keeps showing up to work late and taking an extra 20 minutes at lunch and leaving early because he has a headache. I was about to say something else. He has a headache or something and has to go home. Like, that's that dude that they're like, hey, why don't we go ahead and put him on the Xbox Series S version of Black Myth Wukong? Well, sir, he might quit. I know. Like, this is what we're trying to accomplish. But, like, shit. A few years, guys. A few years. PlayStation, Mark Cerny came out and said, hey, we want to make development go faster. We want to do all of this stuff to make development go faster. That way, when our developers are sitting there and creating a game, they're not worried about all these other little processes happening in the background because PSSR is going to be doing that for them, shortening the length of development time. Fantastic. Meanwhile, on the other side, Xbox is making people take years to optimize the game to get it out and get it over there. That's absolutely freaking insane. Hey, Warawana kicked us off. Imagine that. Phil called me to say Jim Ryan paid for exclusivity. That's right. He did it through a handoff with Shuhei at PAX Australia. That's what happened. That's what happened. I had a source. A source told me. A source... No. How do they say it? A source close... A source with knowledge close to the inner workings has told me that Jim Ryan paid for exclusivity. It was his parting gift. That's why he got cookies. That's it. Was it ketchup? Huh? Was what ketchup? Trust me, bro. No shit. So, confirms what we've already believed, being that the Series S is once again causing major headache for a developer. Was it ketchup? The source. Game Science isn't the only developer that has had a problem with the Series S. Dune Awakening developer Funcom claimed that working with the system is a challenge, while a former Naughty Dog and Rocksteady developer straight up just wished the console never existed. Baldur's Gate 3 developer Larian even had to drop split screen to get it on the system. So it's not like Game Science is alone when it comes to headaches over the Series S. Right, Josh? Smells. Jesus. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go, guys. There it is. That is the that's the story on Black Myth Wukong. There's no more there is no more speculation. There's no more nothing. This is exactly what happened.
It was incredible too. I'm not gonna lie, that PS5 Pro patch, nice, very nice. I'm loving the game. It is hard as shit. I walked through like 4 or 5 bosses in a row this week, and I was feeling good. And then I got to this yellow fucking Buddha motherfucker, and I haven't beat his first stage yet. And he's got 3 stages. When I found out he had 3 stages, I was like, we'll get back to this later.
What's up, Phil? How are you, man? What's up, Ahmed? Welcome. I missed 2 more people coming in. Man, but like, that's just crazy that it's, first of all, we were expecting an announcement, or people were expecting an announcement sometime in December saying when it was going to be coming to the Series X, or when it was going to be coming to Xbox. And now we're getting, guys, it's going to be a couple years. It's going to be a minute. It's going to be, it takes a few years for us to figure out what we can trim and not completely break our game. It's pathetic, guys. It is what it is. It's pathetic. And that system, and the fact that, holy crap, they canceled like mid-gen refreshes for the Xbox. They canceled it. They just said no. We're getting the controllers though, but they canceled the fucking console. Like, who knows? Maybe that would have helped. Maybe they could have put the Series S out to fucking pasture, dropped down the X into that slot, and moved up into this other slot.
That would have pissed off so many consumers though, because they expect that to be part of the whole generation, which they pushed that console. That was their fault. Everyone knew this was coming. Anybody that knew anything, did any kind of research, knew this would be a problem, but they went along with it.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest problem, is that they went along with it. But because of that, they need to course correct somewhere. And that would have been a great time to be like, hey guys, listen, we've been talking about cloud gaming all year. We are going to move the Series S into a dedicated cloud device. You can still download the games that were released by this date back or whatever. But everything else...
As Emmanuel says, this is funny. This made me funny. He's like, Phil says we're not the industry with $1,000 consoles. Well, you're not growing the industry with $300 consoles. Shut the fuck up.
It is so true. You're not complicit by Calvin Klein. They need a banger AAA game. I mean, maybe. They had one, didn't they? They just released it. It's on everybody's Game of the Year list now. What the hell is that game? Oh crud. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle Jerk. Like, it's been released. It's amazing, right? I mean, shit. What's the Indiana? That's the wrong spelling. Jones, Great Circle, Metacritic. Let's see. Guys, it's an 86 out of 100. That's a good game. That's that's amazing. It's janky. What's up, Jez? It's janky. Wait a second. You're telling me? No, I see. I just can't. I can't with y'all sometimes. I can't because well, hang on. Once this ad for Disney finally gets the fuck done playing, then I'll be able to show you the ad. But like, there's no way. There's no way. Also, look at this, guys. 8.4 of a user score. That's fantastic. Also, guys, it's a Bethesda game. Like, boom. This thing has everything going for it. My 5-year-old loves playing Janky Jones. I've heard the puzzles are made specifically for children. Like, look at this, guys. How does this look janky? Look how beautiful this looks. It is gorgeous. It's epic. First time ever in VR. It's awesome. Look at this. It's okay. I can't, guys. It's shit. It looks terrible. Like it it looks awful. I fucking hate this game. I can't. I'm never gonna play it. I don't give a shit to play it. But like they, for all intents and purposes, had a hit on their hands with Indiana Jones. They did. They absolutely did. Go ahead.
Nobody bought it.
Well, no, but it's still a hit. Remember, Disney has come to them and is asking for more.
Oh my ass! Bootleg Jazz. Are we listening to Bootleg Jazz now? We are not that down bad. You know what's funny? I've noticed all these articles that are just phony baloney shit. Their source is Bootleg Jazz.
Yes.
I notice this now.
I know.
They all flow back to bootleg.
I know. Dude, yes.
That's crazy.
Jez Corden.
All the misinformation on the internet flows back to bootleg.
I know. This comes courtesy of Windows Central Editor. Yes. Him and the PT, both of those guys are always at the forefront of misinformation and bullshit. It's any article is always either Paul Tassi said it or Jez Corden said it. But I mean, Disney, right? A Disney insider suggested that there was going to be more Indiana Jones, and I will say on my end, I have also heard that Disney picked up the phone and wants more Indiana Jones. Bullshit. Bullshit. God, I call bullshit. Damn. So, anyways, they had a hit.
Expecting 10 million sales between Starfield and Indiana Jones just on the PlayStation platform. And those two titles aren't going to sell 10 million together on all platforms.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle Jerk. Can't put that in here. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Indiana Jones was on the Xbox. I figured it would do better than this, though. But on paid games, it was for 62. I was on the Xbox the other day just to see where it was. Number 62. It was behind Who's Your Daddy?
Damn.
And Waddle Paddle, or whatever the hell that game was called. Waddly Poddly, or something like that. It was behind those two games.
Wara just said Jez Corden is wrong so often I'm convinced he's trying to be wrong at this point. That's fucked up. Oh shit. We got some people up in here. We got Jez, we got Hero, we got Brian, we got Wara, we got Ahmed. Man, y'all are keeping that chat flowing over here. Every time I look over,
No, it's always the source was Jez Gordon, and the person printing it is some goddamn dude doing it for $20. That's the two connections dots I've gotten. Written by some random person contractor.
Yep.
Made $20 off this article.
It's crazy too, man. Once more, after the Great Circle's great success. What fucking success? Like, that's the thing that bothers me the most, is what success are you talking about? Here, let me show you what success looked like. Hogwarts Legacy Steam numbers. Let's see. And Steam is a little fickle. It's a fickle bitch. I get that. But It's a decent. Oh shit. All-time player count of 879,308. There are still 21,809 players playing that shit currently at this moment. Peak 24 hours on Hogwarts Legacy is 43,562. Damn. I like actually damn. Indiana, let me pull that back up. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Metacritic, nope. Sorry, guys, I know you can hear my keyboard. Circle, Steam. Whoops. Numbers. All right, watch this shit. Watch this. This is great. This is fucking amazing. 12,138 all-time peak 23 days ago. Hogwarts, success. It has more players playing it right now than the all-time player count for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I just want to point that out. There is no snowball's chance in hell that this game is considered a success by any fucking metric, period. It's a smoke show. It's doing what Xbox does and has done for the past 10 years. It is giving just enough hype, just enough hope to string you along to get you to pay your $20 fucking a month for stupid Game Pass to be able to say, oh, I get new games day and date. It's so cool. But yeah, when those new games come out and they're absolute dog shit, it doesn't matter. When they come out and they're getting their ass dog walked by another single player game driven by a movie tie-in IP or a out of gaming IP, like these two games have a lot in common in that regard. They both are from franchises that are beloved, that have huge followings, that people fell in love with. They both have folks who are huge Indiana Jones fans. They have folks who are huge Hogwarts fans. Like, that is a thing that drives these. They're both movies, books, and now video games. And actually, Indiana Jones had video games before Hogwarts did. Or no, I'm sorry. Both had games prior to this. So, like, there's a lot when you look at those two games where you should be able to sit there and say, hey...
Or even like Spider-Man. Spider-Man had tons of games out before Marvel's Spider-Man, and they did not sell like Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man, despite being on one platform. None of those fucking Spider-Mans did 20 million or 15 or even 10. I think a couple did 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that was across all platforms. I'm just saying.
No, you make a good point. And let's look at this. Okay.
Hey, I bet you Wolverine 360 and PlayStation and Steam and all that shit, I don't even think that sold 2 million. I bet you the Wolverine that's going to be on PlayStation only sells more than that.
All right. So
I'm here to gamble. Let's gamble.
So, speaking of Spider-Man on PC. Also, I think YouTube chat has frozen. Either that or everybody has put their phones down and has started drinking for the new year already. Because I think it's frozen. Hang on. See if I can't reload this thing. Nope, that worked. I guess nobody was talking. Okay, cool. My bad. Sent you an article on Discord. Okay. Let's see what we got. Where's the voice? I'm in the show. That's there. Where did you send it? There it is. Oh, yeah. Microsoft responded? Oh, wait, no. That was from a while back. Did they update this? August 2024. Published June 21st. Games Fest delayed currently. Okay, so Josh Ayers just sent me an article, and it's a old article. Oh, It's another one by Jez Corden. I get it now. So, Spider-Man. Listen to this. 66,436. That game was released on PC 2 years after it was released on PlayStation. 66,436 at their all-time player peak. 7,198 was their 24-hour player peak, and 5,075 are players playing it right now. A game that is effectively at this point, what was that, 2018? Was it 2018? 2020? No, it was 2018. 2018. So that is, what is that, call it 6 years ago now. A 6-year-old game that was delayed coming to PC by 2 years has more going for it than a game that was just released. That should be all you need to know about Xbox and about the quality of games and about what you're actually paying for. That's terrible. There's no good way to put that. That's awful. And I don't see it getting any better. Like, if they're going to look at you and go, guys, it's so good, it's such an impressive thing. I promise, guys, it's so awesome. It's really cool. It's great. I can't believe it's doing this good. It's all this other stuff. Then I got something else for you. I got to let you look at this. And, like, it literally has more players in it right now than Indiana Jones does. That's absolutely ridiculous. Because remember, this is from Bethesda. This is from a developer and a studio that cut their teeth on PC. And they cannot release a good game to save their life.
Thing about it is, Machine Games has always had trouble selling. Even their good games like Wolfenstein 1 and 2, those were great games. They didn't sell for shit. I don't know if people knew that, but they didn't.
Were they even on? Let's see. Whoa. Yeah.
They sold like 1 or 2 like 2 million, I think, total.
Yeah.
800,000 the first month. Not great.
So what keeps this studio afloat? Do you think they just...
Bethesda games. That's why they come out with Skyrim every year.
Bethesda.
That's why Bethesda comes out with Skyrim. Kidding ya? Because look at Arcane games. Like their first game, Dishonored, the first Dishonored, that sold great. They haven't had a game sell well yet. You think Deathloop hit 1 million? Hell no, that game sucked dick. Up for Game of the Year though.
Yeah, Deathloop was terrible.
Yeah, it was fucking awful.
Deathloop, I played
Prey sold terrible. Dishonored 200 performed, sold way less than the first. Redfall sold really good though.
Oh yeah, sold so good that they shut down the studio.
Yep.
Man, so we have quite a bit of shit coming out next year. We have a lot of stuff that is not Xbox led, that's not Ubisoft led. We have Monster Hunter Wilds coming out. We have Yakuza Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Which, man, the more I hear about that game is just going to be stupid. Switch 2. So I was going to cover some stuff about the Switch 2 because there was an article that came out.
Oh yeah, Josh said The Evil Within 2. That's a good game, didn't sell. None of their games fucking sell over it. That's why ZeniMax was selling.
Freedom.
Even their better games, they didn't fucking sell.
All right, Josh, you've done did it. Fine. Here, we're gonna.
None of the games sell well, except for Bethesda games. That's why they keep selling fucking Skyrim over and over again. Keep them afloat.
All right. Here you go, guys. This is from Josh. I just remembered. Any music and I get screwed over. So I, I got to start doing some more of those AI songs. I really do. I need to get those stupid things back on here so I can have some background noise. I love it, Josh. I love that you're that way. I love that when you latch onto a game, you're in it. And it's coming out soon. It's coming out in 9 days. Do we know how much that's going to be?
What's coming out in 9 days?
Freedom Wars. It's a remaster.
Oh, the PSP game or whatever?
Yes. Wow, there's still no price for it. Interesting. Releasing in 9 days with no price?
Maybe it's going to be a surprise.
Maybe it's... Fight for your Panopticon. Brian Ace, it's like Monster Hunter. Freedom Wars getting a Scarlet Nexus vibe. Maybe. I don't know. I know nothing about it. It was a PSP game, and I did not have a PSP. Or sorry, PS
I have one
Vita.
sitting next to me.
Do you really?
Oh, I don't have a Vita. Yeah.
That's awesome.
My kids want to play that all the time. I'm like, you ain't gonna play that.
Now,
They play it sometimes.
those were pretty durable, weren't they? Sorry, you mentioned your kids, and I was like, those were pretty durable, right?
They have to be to survive these children.
Dude, my son the other day, I kid you not, he was just holding something. I don't even know what he was doing with it. And like next thing I look over and it's like, he goes, Dad, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, what did you do? And he hands me both of the thing, like it's split into two pieces. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how do you, he goes, Dad, I was just holding it. I'm like, sure you were. Fantastic. Like, we weren't doing.
Marcus's uncle's trying to fix his Switch right now, and I'm like, guess what? If you don't fix that, you're out of Switch until the next Switch comes out. So,
Ooh, yeah.
I'm not buying no more goddamn Switches, bitch.
See, that's
You're
how
done.
Nintendo did it. They did it smart.
That's how they got all their sales. We've had to rebuy so goddamn many.
Well, yes.
Kids don't take care of shit.
That's exactly. Well, part of that's true, but part of that, man, like the Joy-Cons were terrible. The connections inside where the clips are inside the Joy-Cons, not even just the stick drift, which is awful, but like the connections inside, my sons would end up like the controller would just slide out of the screen holder or of the screen clips or whatever it is. And like he was like, Dad, I can't do this. And so we finally got him like the big hand ones where I don't know what the hell they're called, but it's basically like a split pro controller now. And he loves those. He loves them. They fit great, they work great. Everything is awesome on them. But Switch 2 might not be coming out with the amount of power we thought. Let me see if I can't find this article.
Well, Marcus is such a dumbass. He left his like in the bathroom, and I don't know if they were playing in the water or whatever. I was upstairs doing dishes or something, and he just left it in like a puddle of water nowhere. Well, what the hell do you think was gonna happen, moron?
He left it in a puddle of water? Dude.
Like, idiot.
I mean, to be fair, I have completely soaked. Sorry, not I. My youngest. I had just bought a new set of AirPods, and I was getting them all set up and everything, and I had lost one of my previous set, and so like I had one earbud left, but not the other. And next thing I know, my youngest is in the bathroom, and I just hear water running, and I'm like, okay, cool, he's washing his hands. Well, about a couple minutes go by, and I'm like, man, it don't take that long to wash your hands. It really don't. And so I go in there, and because I use my AirPods for work, they have black all over them, like on the stem. They have, and they're like 2.5 years old, like, and I'm talking like black specks from like being in my pocket. I crawl under houses with them, like they get drugged through everything. So he was taking it and running it underwater with soap all over it. And I just
To try
looked
and
at
clean
him
them? Yeah.
to try and clean them. And he goes, "Dad, look, I cleaned your headphone." And I just looked at him and was like, "Dude,
Oh, no.
I can't." I was like, "Well, I was gonna use
Your
this."
intentions were good, but I'm going to tell you a little story about electronics.
They don't like getting wet. And my wife came out, and my youngest looked at her, and he was like, "Dad's mad, and I don't know why." I was like, she came in the kitchen, and I was like, "Honey, he washed my AirPod," and she looked at me and was like, "Your new ones?" And I said, "No, no, 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 no. Thank God, no, 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 my old ones." And she was like, "Oh, well, good thing you got new ones." And I was like, "Yes, but still, like, these kids, even when they try to help, it's like, dude, just please don't. Just stop helping.
Put it
Stop.
down.
Just or
I want
ask.
you to ask me before you do it. Breathe, sneeze,
Just
everything.
so and
Ask me before you do anything,
just
ever.
anything. Yes. Dad. Oh, Nick, member for 4 months. He said, "Hey guys, what's up, Nick? Nice seeing you, dude." Guys, seriously, hit those member milestones. I am planning on adding a couple more different variations to that because we have some folks that if I don't add any variations, you're not going to get a different badge until like a year. And so I want to be able to make sure that we keep those colors moving on down the road. I've got a story on that. My friend had a Nintendo DS and took it with him into the bathroom, heard screaming, and found out that he had accidentally dropped it in the toilet while taking a leak. That burned into my head. Never take a handheld into the bathroom under any circumstance. Dude, it's it, I used to take my phone and I always have a video playing. I always have something playing in the background. And unless it's like a family event or, I'm out with my other buddies and whatnot. But anytime it's me by myself, I always have something playing in my ear. And so whenever I use the restroom when I'm at work, I go by gas stations or Walgreens or CVS's or whatever. And I'll put my phone up on the urinal. I'll put like a piece of the paper towel underneath it, put my phone up there so I can watch the video while I'm taking a leak. No big deal. No big deal. Until one day, almost dropped that bitch. I literally was trying to grab it to put it back in my back pocket after I was done. And I hit it the wrong way. And if I wouldn't have literally swatted the dang thing up against the little divider, it would have fallen directly into the water. And so ever since that day, that happened about a year and a half ago, ever since that day, I don't even pull my phone out when I'm in the restroom anymore. Like, especially if I'm not sitting down. Like, because that's, no, 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 no. No, no. That's a terrifying experience, especially if you already have like a cracked screen or some part of your phone has been compromised already. Because water's getting in, and it just sucks. Yeah, no amount of cleaning would ever undo that situation in my mind. Absolutely. Brian, you're putting your phone up next to
Let
piss.
me tell you, being from Minnesota, you know what automatically goes in fucking bring with? A cell phone or any type of product when you're ice fishing. Because it's the only hole in the floor, and it goes right to the goddamn hole that you're fishing. Guaranteed.
just
I've
right
lost
to it.
like 2 or 3 cell phones. My brother's lost like 7 of them.
Really?
Yeah, because it's the lowest point in the floor. So if you drop it, it's going down the fucking hole. That is the easiest way to lose taking ice fishing.
I mean,
it goes right to the hole in the floor.
We deal with that when you go to the lake. Like, you just if you lose it.
Think ice fishing, it's the only place that it. So that's where it go right where every time. Never fails.
Yeah, no, that's that's why you got to take care of your devices. That is actually So, I told everybody last week that I'm planning on doing a review video of the Pulse Explorer headphones. I literally just got, I think I just clocked 20 hours on them, or close to it. And so that review will be coming out tomorrow or Friday. But one of the things I love about them is they're not, the carrying case for them, they're not meant to be like an everyday wearer. Like they're not meant to go in your pocket. They're not meant to do anything like that. And when you need to clean them, they are super easy to clean. Super easy to clean. Unlike Apple AirPods that once they get dirty, if anything gets like actually inside the black little mesh screen piece, you're done. You are completely and utterly done. So like that is one of the benefits and one of the things I absolutely love is that even if I get these things completely covered and filthy, I will be able to clean them and keep them clean. And so, anyways, a little bit of a side note, but the
I'm
rumors.
letting my kids know when that goddamn Switch 2 comes out, you're getting one. You break it, well, I guess you go the rest of your life without one. I'm not doing this shit next time. You're older now. You are not 3 and 5 anymore. You break it, well, that's it. You're done.
That was always the rule in my house. Like, I remember having a Super Nintendo. No, sorry. I remember having a PlayStation, but not having a controller because I got mad one day and slammed my controller down and broke it. And so my parents weren't going to go buy me a new controller because I broke that one. I had to save my allowance to go get a new controller. And I ended up trying a Mad Catz one, and that was the dumbest decision I ever made.
Yeah, everyone always try to save money by getting one of those. You were just better off just fucking spending the extra money.
It's so
God,
bad.
those are pieces of crap.
And they had the turbo button.
Those things are pieces of crap.
Those things were so terrible. I can't believe that company lasted for as long as it fucking did. But it really was because everybody was trying to get one of those shitty ass controllers because they wanted to save money. Don't break
it's like, okay, Frank comes over, I get the good one, you get that piece of shit.
Yes.
That one's yours.
Oh
what
man,
that was for.
It used to piss me off so bad when I'd give my buddy the shitty controller and he'd still kick my ass in like Tekken or Street Fighter. Like, man, fuck you. But so, Nelson, what do you think's going to happen next year for Sony?
I don't know. We'll see if they want to piss people off or not. They've been good at that lately.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Just with their characters and stuff like that.
Okay.
Seems like all they want to do is hire freaking, what do you want to call them, activists and shit like that. I don't think people are getting a little fed up with that. At least I am.
Oh, it's not just you. It's you. It's me. It's everybody in the world. I talk to folks on the other side of the aisle from me, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to be preached at either. Like, could you imagine if a game came out and was like the exact opposite of some of these other ones, and I don't know, promoted things that the other side of the political aisle usually promotes? The kind of
That's not why I'm playing a video game.
Right. Like,
that's what I'm trying to get away from when I'm playing a video game. Goddamn.
I don't want to hear either side. I don't want to hear anything. I just want to play the game. I just want to go through. And I think, honestly, that's why the medieval setting always appeals to me. Because generally, if a game is set in medieval times, you don't have any of that.
They're changing the game.
Well, that's very true. If you have a message, say it. It's not everyone. Let them. If you have a message, say it. Yeah, I want to escape the world, not remind me of it when I'm playing games. Yeah, and that's me. That's my thing.
That's why I stopped watching TV in the first place, because I got tired of this, that, and the other thing. I'm trying to get away from all that shit, and it's following me to games, and it's pissing me off. Because I don't like talking about this shit, because I don't want to be involved in the first place.
Right. That is like, that's completely...
I'm trying to get away from all that shit, and y'all bring it to me. I don't want it to me.
Josh, I agree that not everyone plays for escapism, but there are a ton that do. I would say when I play for escapism, those are. I'd still say that those take up about 90% of my gaming. Like, which is why I don't want a game that is super challenging. I don't want a game that is going to kick my ass 16 different times before I can actually get something right. Like, it bothered me. And so I don't do those type of games because life is already hard. I don't want to go to a video game and have to experience it being that hard as well. Challenges
Yeah,
are okay.
It's hard enough trying to get through life as it is.
Right, like I don't want to go and play Dark Souls and get my ass kicked repeatedly on the first boss or Lords of the Fallen where I didn't make it out of the fucking tower. Anybody who's played Lords of the Fallen knows exactly what I'm talking about. The first boss in the tower, he's there with you. You walk down the stairs, you gotta fight this guy, and I don't ever get past that spot. I've tried. But I can't. I don't play video games for that. I play video games to find out whatever. Uh, I beat Lords of the Fallen. Yeah, great. That's fantastic. So you know the spot I'm talking about. Like, I remember being so excited to play that game because it looked really cool. And then I get in and I'm like, I am absolutely getting wrecked. This is not fun anymore. This is not cool. And I was done. But like, sorry, but if the actress attacks gamers and potential customers that don't agree with their beliefs, that deserves backlash. I agree, Zero. I agree. And I think that there's a reason why she deleted the tweet. There's a reason why she deleted the post. And so I think that somebody got to her and said, "Hey, listen, you can't say that shit. Like, we we can slide this stuff into our game currently because our fan base doesn't have to deal with us coming out and doing this type of shit to them. You can't do that to them." Like, I don't think people are giving enough credit to the people who bang the loudest drum. It happened in the positive side with Hogwarts Legacy. The more conservative folks purchased the absolute mess out of that game. Some folks purchased that game and still to this day haven't played
I bought it out of spite.
Right. They bought it out of spite and spite alone. Me,
I hate Harry Potter, but I bought that shit out of spite. It's a really good game, though.
Right, and that happens, and guess what? People also don't buy games out of spite, too. Doesn't matter how fucking good it is. You're not going to spend $70 on it. Right? Like, I wasn't going to spend that on Diablo 4. Ended up getting it for $25. Good purchase for that $25. Got it used. Guess what? When I was done with it, you know where that game went? Right the fuck back to the video game store. And I think I got like $14 for it. So, Blizzard didn't get my money directly. And I paid $10 for 50 hours. Perfect. I might do that with a Dragon Age Veilguard. I might do that. But to look at this and say, oh, it's not that big of an issue, I honestly believe that it could end up being a massive issue if they wouldn't have done what they did. I also think that 2025 is going to be a year that it's going to be the first year that PlayStation legitimately has zero competition, right? Like, last year there were still people holding hope out for Xbox. This year, there ain't none of that shit left. Like, there's none of it. There's Jez and Colt. And that's it. Like, oh, and what's that other dude? The big guy. What's his name? Shit, y'all share his clips all the time in the Discord. Fucking hell. Boomstick. Like, those guys, that's all that's left. They're going to be the ones making Broomstick. Yeah. Hey, what's up, JC?
Broomstick.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all are hearing me eating my dinner. My bad. Chris Coleman, what's up? Go ahead.
And Bootleg Jez need to all be on the same show.
Dude, could you imagine the amount of copium? Like,
oh my god,
it would turn into a threesome. It really would. They would see each other and it'd be love at first sight. Hey man, delusion.
It's crazy.
Crazy attracts crazy. That's all I'm saying.
I listen to Boomsticks now and then just to hear the wild shit that comes out of their mouth. The only thing that sucks is a lot of times I'm at work and it's like, oh, that's a clippable. Oh, I'm busy.
Josh.
But it's constant. It's just the crazy shit that comes out of their mouth is just, it's unbelievable.
Josh, it would be a delusional circle jerk. Yes, it would. Josh said if you're bitching and buying games out of spite, you have no leg to stand on for escapism. Now, I understand where you're coming from. But I also understand that people who purchase Hogwarts Legacy out of spite are part of the reason that game sold 27 million copies. So, I understand what you're saying, but we also tell gamers all the time to put your money where your mouth is, to vote with your wallet. And if you're like, hey, I want games that aren't going to cower down, that aren't going to change their story, change their narratives, to match what some other company or some other agenda is trying to push, that's a big deal. And funny enough, I would actually say for the folks on the other side, maybe the more liberal side of the video game consumer, if you want that crap in your game, then you better be buying those games that push it and force it and do all of that. Like, seriously, whoever you are, whatever your interests are, vote with your wallet. I bought the game because I love Harry Potter. That's why I bought it. And I'm so glad I did. They did an absolute astounding job with that game. And I have it downloaded because I still want to try out the PS5 Pro.
I only have one complaint about that game. You know, I put 117 hours into that game, and I got a glitch into it or whatever, and I couldn't go any further into the story. I couldn't start my missions no more, so I had to start all over, so I haven't finished it because of that.
Oh, that sucks.
117 hours in.
How much did you have left to do?
Not that much.
I gotta say, I think I was 90 hours in.
I was doing all the side shit, and I knew I was almost done with the game, so I was trying to wrap up all the side shit.
Dude, was I the only dumbass that had to look up how to complete some of the Merlin trials?
No, I looked up everything that involved anything Harry Potter because I didn't know any of the fucking answers.
Well, the Merlin trials were where you had to use your spells to, like, move the rocks and, like, change the patterns, and I could never figure out which fucking pattern went with what, so I was like...
I cheated on everything. I'm not...
It's not cheating. They're freaking resources. When the guys at FromSoft will come out and tell you, hey, listen, if you find a glitch in our game, it's probably supposed to be there. Go ahead and exploit the shit out of it. Have fun.
I was so mad when that happened, though. I was almost done with the game.
Ouch.
I started glitching when I was flying and stuff like that, and I couldn't start side missions no more. Couldn't start main mission no more. I was like, no. I looked it up. Very few people had that issue, but the ones that did, they're like, yeah, you don't have another save, or you didn't save any other games, you got to start over. And I was like, no.
Hang on.
Someday.
Slimy Mucus said, so you got low IQ kids. Guess the saying like father like son is true. I'm confused. What was that in response to, and which one of us was that in response to, Slimy? Or was it in response to somebody in the chat? I mean, because now you just called my kid low IQ, and I'll absolutely boot you out of here for that. You can say whatever you want to about me. Don't care. Or he might be making a dig about my son washing the AirPod. that's that's also possible. But we don't take shots at my family. You can take shots at me all day long. I'm here for the fun. I'm here for the fights. I'm here to make Xbox look retarded. Stupid. Sorry. Can't say the R word. Or can you now? Is that allowed again?
They do well enough on that on their own.
If you're not into DEI, then this is not a game for you. Go somewhere else. Kinda hot take. I don't think Tati knows better than to make a move like that, or hope rather. You can say any word. Thank you, Josh. That's not true, but thank you, Josh. I appreciate that at least you're consistent. That is one of the things I will give my Australian friends. Y'all are very consistent about, I don't give a shit what you do. Like, y'all do whatever you want to do, and just leave us the fuck alone. Like, that's kind of, everybody live their life, and leave everybody else alone. Y'all are very, very consistent in that. At least the ones in our Discord are. And so, I'm super excited, though, about this next year. This next year is, I think it's going to be a great year in gaming. I feel like we started the gaming renaissance this past year in 2024, and I think 2025 is just going to continue that. I think we're going to get some banger titles from some more Eastern developers. I think games like Dynasty Warriors Origins is going to come out to surprise the shit out of people. I think it's going to be...
I can't believe how good that looks. When I think of Dynasty Warriors, that game has looked the same the last, 7 entries in a row, and this like it actually finally evolved.
Right? Like, I remember, Dynasty Warriors 3.
Dynasty Warriors, which is this, number 27 or... You know what I mean? And they've looked the same since, 4 through 27, they all look the same, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true. And I remember, because I've played almost every single Dynasty Warriors game up to, I think the last one I played was 7. So I haven't played 8 or 9, and I might end up playing Origins. If they do it, I really hope they do a demo for it, because I just want to get my feet wet in it. But I don't know if I want to actually spend the full $70 on it. Especially that since Christmas was just last week, and my oldest son's birthday is just next week. Don't necessarily know if I want to spend a full $75 on a video game that close to everything else that's been taking money from my wallet. So so I really hope they give us a demo, because that's going to be fun. But anyways, Nelson, we are coming up on the 2-hour mark. We're going to go ahead and call it. Is there anything that you wanted to discuss in the last 10 minutes that we didn't get to? Was there anything you wanted to talk about tonight?
Not really. I'm just kind of curious how it's going to go at the end of the year when GTA does start rearing its ugly head and everyone's fucking shit. We got to get our game by such and such date. There's going to be a huge goddamn metric ton of games that come out right before that comes out, and it's going to be like, well, how the hell are we supposed to buy all these games when there's 15 goddamn big games coming out in 2 months before Grand Theft Auto?
Oh!
I think there's going to be an absolute fucking, what do you want to call it?
Dude, Fatal Fury gets a new game next year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I thought about you
Harry
instantly.
Bogart's back.
And then I saw that it was a fighter, though. It's not a... It looks like a Tekken style game.
Well, that's what Fatal Fury's always been.
I thought... Wait.
No. Fatal Fury's always been a fighter.
I'm thinking of Final Fight. Never mind.
You're thinking of Final Fight.
I thought we were getting a new Final Fight game.
Yeah, we'll never get a new Final Fight.
They gave us Streets of Rage 4. Maybe we'll get another Final Fight.
Yeah, that's Sega, not Capcom. We'll see.
Hey, Sega
but
really...
I am getting Onimusha. Small baby steps, baby.
Baby. That also
I was a
goes
big
to
fan of
show,
Final Fight 2, though.
dude. I have not. I've not played a Final Fight game since like way back in the day, and I only played like a couple matches. Or not Final Fight.
They're,
Fatal Fury.
they're good.
Final Fight was the one that had Axel and Skate, right?
Nope, that's Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage. Got it. Like all of those games.
Final Fight was like Guy and Hagar.
Okay.
You know the big dude with the mustache?
Mm-hmm. Yep, the Zangief looking guy.
Yep.
Yep. I remember the characters. Because one of them had
Cody was one of them.
One of them had a female too, or both of them did, but one of them had a brunette and one of them had a blonde.
Number two had a female, I think it was.
Gotcha, man. Those games and like the Double Dragons and stuff like. I need a new Double Dragon. What did you? But first,
hey, 2020, late 2025. You see the new one, right?
No.
No. I have a
miss,
wish listed.
Did I miss something?
Well, show it to the people. Yes.
Yeah.
Double Dragon Revive.
It's called Revive.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hang on. Let me pull this up, and this is where we'll. Oh, so real quick, while I'm pulling this up, what's your thoughts on Rita's Revenge, or Rita's Rewind?
Well, they fixed it a lot. I haven't finished it yet, but when it first came out, it was very poor, very, very poor. But they fixed a lot of things, so yeah, it's pretty good.
Good. The only thing that I remember hearing about it was like the Zord missions were hard.
They were fucking they were broken. They were broken. They were awful. Horrible.
So what
Almost
you're saying
impossible to complete.
is they weren't good.
No, they were broken.
All right,
They were bad. Holy shit. You get through that, even on easy, it was like, I can't do this. It was so bad. And they fixed it.
All right, let's see
it's
this.
It's much more playable now.
It begins. Another battle.
I'm not sure where to go here.
Let's get this
What do you
done.
mean?
Oh, I'm on Ys.
Oh.
It is time we
Ys trying to find my way through these mountains. 10.
Shadows surround you. Let's go. No time to waste.
God, it's so cool. That's so fucking sick.
Feel the
What are you watching, the Double Dragon Revive?
Yeah.
Looks good, huh?
It looks really good. It looks very early gen PS4, but it looks really good.
That's considered a lot of money for a beat 'em up.
I know. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's coming at me. Hopefully we get some gameplay of that soon, because that was a really cool
I know,
cinematic.
you can wish list. I'm like, why am I wish listing it if it ain't coming up for another year, but whatever.
Right? No, that actually looks really, really good. Guys, so Nelson, you are part of the Autoplayer podcast. You're part of State of Gaming. You're doing your own channel now. Like, dear God, dude, where do you want to plug? Where you plug anything you want?
I just put up gameplay on my channel, but I do shorts when I go shopping sometimes and random things around the house. But State of Gaming is probably the number one. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to be on Autoplayers when spring hits because I've got a lot of projects. Figure that out when the time comes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be the show that I'm pretty dedicated to. As long as something ain't going on, or I felt real great this week, but I didn't make it this week. But other than that, I've been there every week. So that's on Sundays with Will.
What time is that? 6?
It is 8:30 our time.
8:30 our time, so 8:30 Central. Got it.
So 9:30 Eastern.
And
What would that be? 6:30 California.
yeah, 9:30 yeah, that's right. 6:30 California. Got a buddy who lives in Oregon, and he's
I think
always
that's
like,
Pacific time.
he's like, why are you so tired all the time? And I was like, man, shut up. Because when I stay up till 11, you're at 9 o'clock at night, and then like, that's why,
Yeah, you're not even up that late. I'm not up that late for you.
right? I'm, I am up very late, but it's because I don't have time. I don't have time to do anything. If I want to play video games or if I want to do anything, I need to just stay up and sacrifice sleep. That's what I have to do because, like, one of the things that Will has always said is don't make excuses not to play games, make excuses to play games. And so, like, there's a lot of truth to that. Like, if I want to play Path of Exile, I actually have it now to where I have it set up to where I can do a single quest line every day. I try to do a single quest line every day except on Wednesdays and Sundays. So like 5 main quest lines, and they usually take about 45 minutes to an hour each. Because I know that when I get in there, I'm gonna spend a lot of time. I'm gonna need to block off some time. And so like you gotta find ways to game. And speaking of that, in 2025, here's for those who are still here, there's 14 people still here. You get to have a peek into where I'm going to be taking the channel soon. I am going to be moving away from a headset, and I am going to be moving into a standalone mic where hopefully it'll have a lot better sound quality. It'll have better range on it, and it won't make my ears sweaty or feel weird or anything like that. I hate having shit on my head. I just do. I don't even like wearing a hat. Like, I have to wear one for work when I'm inside clients' houses and shit. But, like, as soon as I get back to my van or as soon as I get outside, I just yank that thing off. I hate having stuff on my head. And so, going to be getting rid of that. So, that's one of the things that I'll be upgrading the channel with. One of the other things is I'm going to be doing more content for members. Starting this month, here in a couple weeks, we're going to have our very first member night, where y'all are probably going to get to watch me play, or we're going to choose a game to play together. And it's going to be something that we can do. Y'all are either going to be able to laugh at me, or y'all can laugh with me while we play a multiplayer title. I'll try to usually pick something that's free to play. That way there's no investment on y'all's part, and we can have a great time with that. I am trying to get more intentional with consistency of videos. And towards the end of the year, aside from Christmas, I have been more consistent, and it's actually been really good. I want the channel to grow to 1,000 subscribers by the end of next year. I got 358 net subscribers this year. There was a lot more than that, but when you gain 5, lose 3, gain 6, lose 9, like net subscribers, I gained about 350. Which is really good. And if we do that again next year, we'll be at 1,000. That's kind of my goal. There's some other things, like releasing shorts and doing things like that. And I'm going to also be trying to bring on some new guests, some people who haven't been on the show before. If you have anybody and you're like, dude, I was listening to this dude, maybe you should reach out to him, kind of like his takes. See, I'm not opposed. Like, I don't have to have a prior working relationship with these people in order to grab them and put them on here. I want to get new content for y'all in that regard. And outside of that, though, guys, just maintaining the same content, the same weekly show, focus on being middle of the road as possible, calling Xbox out, calling PlayStation out, getting those moments where you get to puff out your chest, and keep it very playground, right? That's the goal. Also, y'all can help keep me accountable on this. Y'all know I have a hard time beating video games, and so because I bounce off of them. So my goal for next year is I want to beat 1 game a month. 12 for the year total. That will double what I beat this year. Not what I played. I played 58 games this year. I beat 6. And so, like, I really want to double that. I gamed almost 1,000 hours, and I want to start completing the games that I play. And so I've set a goal for myself of 12. Only 58? Yeah, dude, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot for me. Like, 58 games, I usually take in 50 to 100 hours on every game I play. So if it's worth my time, it gets that much. If it's not, it gets 10 to 12 hours and then I bounce off of it. And so you do 10 to 12 hours times 48 games, you have about 500 hours plus the 100 hours in each title I beat. You're up to the 1,000 hours I spent gaming last year. And so like it all makes sense when you break down the numbers with how I was gaming and how I normally game. But so those are kind of some of the goals. Those are things that when y'all do super chats, when y'all pick up a membership, when y'all do stuff like that, that's all stuff that helps pay for the new mic. That helps pay for the little switchboard I want to get, so I can start having a few things more streamlined and getting some different channels and stuff like that, being able to do some more mic quality, audio quality, and stuff of that nature. But anyways, guys, we are going to kick off 2025 with an amazing show tonight, and it was awesome. Nelson, truly thank you for coming on. Happy to be able to get you on, dude. You are the reason, you are actually the reason, one of the reasons actually, I have a Discord. Because back in the beginning of last year, somebody had mentioned having a Discord, and I put a post up, and you were one of like 4 people. When I asked, hey, should I start a Discord? You were like, yes, absolutely. And so from there, I got it up and running, and Wara helped immensely getting it all ironed out, and it's been kind of taking off on its own. We have 53 people in there. I think after you remove bots, we have like 43. And so, yeah, come on over, check that out. Hit that like button on the way out, guys. And
Yeah, I brought a lot of the people over. I brought a lot of the people, a lot of the first
You
people
did.
over to the
You
Discord.
did. You got Tornado Screw over there. Who else did you bring over? You got Tornado.
Street Jesus.
Yeah. Mr.
Rome Rush.
Mr.
I
None
don't
of
know,
your
like 7 or 10 of them probably.
Mr. None of your damn business.
Yep.
I love that name. He stops
He has
into
the
the
most soothing voice too.
Does he really?
Yep.
Oh, Wara, I'm too old for that shit anymore. Stay thrifty, guys. Who's on next week? Oh, dude. Oh, my goodness. Who's on next week? So, I have a treat for everybody next week. I have Falky back. I have Warawana. And I've been trying to get him on for 2 months now. Finally was able to get him on, so we're going to have a larger cast than what I normally like. But for this dude and for his knowledge on all things JRPG, I can't wait. And we're going to have Creative Kofi back on the show next week. And so, super excited about that. We have some JRPGs coming out this year, and I can't wait to pick the brains of Falky and of Kofi on those titles. Claire, Abstergo Expedition 33, that is in the running for one of my... That's a day one purchase. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that game is not going to be a full $70. So it doesn't take up one of my slots. Which is super cool, because it's a little loophole that's in there. That's nice. And the game looks amazing. Gives me wonderful vibes when I watch that trailer and when I've watched that game. So it's not 70. And so super excited about that. Anyways, guys, I am waffling on. I need to end this. It is time to end the show. Y'all have a wonderful night. Go follow Nelson. Nelson's Gaming Culture. Nelson Gaming 12 on X. Nelson Gaming Culture on YouTube. You can go check out Will777JP's channel. Subscribe to that so you can get notifications when they go live to do the State of Gaming podcast. on Sundays at 8:30 Central Time, 6:30 Pacific, and 9:30 Eastern. Guys, thank y'all again so much. And as always, stay 3.